Day 13, I think. Sounds about right. 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I don't know what day it is, but we're talking about unruffling the mind. We got Blanca here to help us out with that, which is basically talking about concentration, dharana. We've mentioned a couple of days now that as you start to follow the breath, and that creates steadiness of the mind, a little bit of consciousness, and that leads to concentration. Now, over time, as you continue to build that, this thread of concentration, that becomes meditation. So we're going to keep it that simple this morning. We're going to start with a little bit of ragdoll. So Blanca, if you want to find your feet, you too, find your feet. You can take them as wide as feels good. You're just starting to feel how your mind is following sensation. Maybe it's the sensation of your feet rooting into the mat, the shifting of your weight, the sensation of your head dropping a little heavier. Maybe it's a sensation of breath. But just like you have that focused intention in your eyes, right, drishti, you have the same with your mind. So maybe you start to sort of focus the mind somewhere. Maybe the easiest thing to follow is the breath. Maybe the easiest place to be rooted is in your feet. We'll take just 3 breaths. We're going to keep that little bit of focus on the mind today as we get moving. So you're moving not just external physical postures, the peripheral of your body, but trying to move from your core outward to connect to yourself enough, right, to squeeze and to reach and to stretch. So you're continuing to feel your body, moving the breath so that you're giving your mind something to focus on. As you work your feet underneath you, go ahead and release the bind if you have any, and then we'll come rising all the way through flat back towards standing. Big reach. Maybe it feels good to reach a little up and over, a little side to side. Just start to press your hips, engage the quads, your glutes, and keep that rooted sensation in the feet. So as your breath brings you back to neutral space, we'll exhale to fold all the way down. You can turn to face the opposite way on your mat, Blanca. Inhale to a flat back. Yep, give them your bum. And then plant your palms for chaturanga. Take your time, right? Feel your way through this. Knees can be up or down. Maybe you linger somewhere. There is no rush, especially if you're taking this practice first thing in your morning, or maybe moving slower if you're taking it before bed. When you're ready, hips come up and back. Again, finding some familiar space. That's always helpful, right? To feel a little bit of comfort, a little bit of grounding. So sits bones reach for the sky. Check out a little bend in the knees. Again, really feeling your way into this practice of yours, breath, body. It's going to draw your mind in the same direction, that's all. Reach your right foot to the sky, and we'll take that 3-legged dog. It might feel good to bend the knees or roll out ankles, wiggle toes. You can take all of the things. Maybe today's a day where you got to start doing a little kung fu, finding a little deeper breath, right? We worked on that. I guess it was Monday. Every day, really, but maybe you fire up a little bit of lion's breath or that bellows breath, whatever it takes. Knee comes towards your nose. Rinse out the breath to step into warrior 1. Right? Taking time to feel all of the things. So let your mind, so it's not just a sensation, but let your mind follow sensation to reach through the fingers. Let it follow the strengths of your legs, right? That exhale. Rooting down through your feet. Maybe it's traveling the length of the spine as you let inhale start to find a little bit of lift in your torso. All the little bits and goodies. So yes, drishti, the intention with your eyes, but a little more from the mind. Take a good breath in here and we'll peel open to warrior 2. So again, not so much about what it looks like ever, but certainly today, you might even stick with closing your eyes so that you begin to feel your body, all the little nooks and crannies. So gaze is typically over front fingers. Let your mind meet those left fingertips with as much intention. Right? Feel your mind radiating that intention throughout the body as you begin to take up a little more space, not just physically in your kitchen or wherever you are, but in the body. Let that mind nestle in between the fingers, the little webbing of the toes. Flip your palms and go ahead and reverse the warrior. Follow breath as you reach, and follow it as you exhale, chaturanga. Open the heart, maybe room to open the throat a little through tabletop. If you'd like to work your way to down dog, go for it. As you arrive, feel that landing. Maybe it's the press of palms and feet. Maybe it's the exhale. Breath in reaches left toes to the sky, three-legged dog, right? Really feeling your way into this throughout the body. Maybe it's breath expanding the rib cage, the squeeze of the belly as you rinse the breath out, letting the mind migrate to all the little corners. You take one more generous breath here, and as you exhale, knee towards nose, we'll step into warrior one. Take your time, root down to rise. Yeah, feel maybe a little bit of wobble in the front ankle, the engagement of that right quad, the little squeeze up into the biscuit. Start to notice how your mind can have that focus, the same intention throughout the body, as opposed to your gaze, which is a little more concentrated. Now, your mind can only do really one thing at one time. I know we pretend we can multitask, but neurologically, it can do one thing at one time. And lucky for us, our mind can be everywhere doing the same thing, creating that intention and focus as you open warrior two at the same time. A couple of breaths here, noticing all the bits and goodies. Hear the sound of your breath. Maybe it has more of a rinsing quality. Right? All of the senses start to play a part of drawing the mind towards concentration. For two. Now, when you're ready, flipping the palms, go ahead and reverse the warrior. Right? Maybe you take a few extra breaths here. Take your time, and then chaturanga. Feel the palms plant. Feel the strength as you exhale. Long breath in to lengthen the train of thought, not just your spine, and then downward facing when you're ready. Get a good breath in here, and then a really good breath out. As you look up your mat, bend knees, walk, maybe jump, straggle on up front of your mat, inhale, flat back, and then exhale to fold. As you come rising all the way to standing, big reach, and we'll find palms at heart, pausing to set up your tree pose. So balancing on either foot. I actually recommend that we choose either the calf or your ankles so that we are encouraging standing joints right up into the hips to be equally active. Sometimes we press the foot into the inner thigh, we kind of fall into the posture. So you want to stay active as you kind of peel that knee open a little right from the hip, lifting to lengthen, and now you're steadying your gaze. So a little bit of focus. Yeah, wobbles are included. That's very much a part of the posture. You're going to lift right into your half moon. So knee comes up, hips open, and you can reach for the floor or a block, a chair, whatever you have around. We'll take just 3 breaths. Feeling all of the wobbles, right? They're keeping your mind occupied, focused on reaching in every direction, trying to balance on one foot and breathe. So your mind has really no other option than to be focused. So continue that for one more generous breath here. And then we're going to start to move towards dancers. So bending the back knee as you reach, square hips and lift your heart. So thumb is to the sky, reaching inside the foot, and gaze is steady. Mind is steady. Maybe the mind is in the foot, the ankle wobbling. Maybe it's in the sturdiness of your core and your hips. So less about what it looks like. Yeah, fall in, fall out, toe heel over to grab a sip of water, come on back. And then as you release your dancers, we're revolving the half moon. Opposite hand comes down. Leg still reaches behind you. And revolve your half moon. So left hand is to the sky, Blanca. You're doing the harder. Right hand down, revolved half moon. Maybe use a block. Yeah, and then lift the left hand to the sky. Maybe you two went for the harder variation and revolved your dances. Good for you. Yeah, have a little bit of fun with this. You can certainly take it if that's right up your alley today, but take one more breath here. Notice how focused you are. You're not thinking about the laundry or dinner, right? You're just trying to figure out how to stand on this one little hoof of yours. And then we're going to step back to twisted lunge. So keep your twist. Just bring that foot down. You can bring either prayer palms, or you can leave the right hand down and take a big reach. That might draw the stretch a little farther down towards your mid-back, low-back sacrum. Prayer palm tends to get mid-back up into the shoulders, so your choice. But again, notice how you're focused. You're still balancing. See if you can drop the shoulders. Find a little bit of ease here. We'll get a good breath in, and then we're going to windmill open to warrior two. Brief stint here, looking for steady, comfortable posture. Find that same steadiness, comfort in the breath, and notice how your mind starts to follow. You're going to take this with you as you move towards horse. We're going to peel the back heel in, tuck the bum under, knees start to peel out from the strength of your hips, right? Not from elbows, not from any kind of forcing. And if it's helpful, you can close your eyes, right? To steady that gaze inward. And notice as you try to balance, as you feel the breath and the sensation of your body, how that's drawing you towards the present moment. Right? We're starting to spread consciousness throughout the body. You can feel the burn in the legs, right? Feel the breath moving energetically. Maybe you have it rooted down through the feet or reaching up through the spine. And then slowly press free to go ahead and fold. Toes work in, heels work out. And it's a place of comfort. We're always trying to cue, I think more times than not, feet to work wider and wider and wider. Sometimes you got to work your feet a little underneath you, inward. You got to bend your knees to find the space where you can let gravity start to make its way down the spine. So here you're looking for that release on the exhale. The surrender that also helps to draw you towards the present moment. That's it. So give this another breath. Again, you can take any movement that simply feels good. And then we're going to find your palms underneath your shoulders. Walk them towards your front foot. Feet turn towards left side, Blanca, for you. Towards Parsvottanasana. So you can shorten your stance. You want to be able to square the hips and tilt the tailbone and drive the sits bones up and back. So you're going to work with just palms to the floor if you'd like. Otherwise, if interlacing your hands behind you or finding elbows is your preference, that certainly will give you something to wobble over and focus a little more on. But otherwise, you can focus on breath. And in particular here, engaging throughout the body. Knees fall asleep. We tend to sink, but you want to take your feet and drive the hips up and back. One more breath, and we'll come reaching up slowly through flat back to standing. We'll set up pyramid. So either interlace, otherwise I'm going to invite you to take prayer palms. So you can press palms and face them up or down, but really focus on pressing the bum under. Yeah, and that's all it is. Little bits of focus. So first the low back, holding the press of the bum under, holding the length of the spine, and of course the balance of the feet. Just feel your focus. Feel your body, feel the breath. 2, feel your chin reach with the inhales to open the throat. May your mind's just following breath and body here. And as you exhale, slowly tuck the chin. Pause to unravel, reaching the hands, and we'll step into Utkatasana. Just a generous breath here, or maybe 2. If we were up to Blanca, you'd be here for about 8 hours. 1 more breath. Nice job. And then exhale, fold. Find just a moment in that ragdoll, get a little bit of release. And then we're going to come reaching all the way up to standing. We'll take tree on the other side. So again, root down, let your mind settle into the feet. Pick one, make sure you're on the opposite side. And then again, I offer the calf or the ankle usually. And Blanca, you can turn if you want. We can make this extra head for you. Hobble around, yep. Just so you're facing the camera. I'm sure you know what tree is, but just in case, we'll torture Blanca for good measure. Again, just not on your knee. And it's all about the wobbles, right? When you start wobbling and you're trying to balance, your mind has no other option than to be present in those wobbles, so love them. I know we tend to feel like we're not doing the posture or kind of beat ourselves up over falling out of a pose, but it's actually one of the better benefits of this practice. So you're gonna feel your hips. We're gonna open towards half moon. So Blanca, you can turn again. Yeah, and you can use whatever you have. If you got a kitchen counter, one of your dining room chairs or something, a small child hanging around, use them as a little bit of a prop. Mind is following all the things you're doing. The flex of the toes, expanding to reach. And we're gonna drop the left. I lied, dancers, you reach for the inside of your foot. Thumb is to the sky. And it's not about what it looks like. You can focus on any part of this. Today it's the balance of your mind, not just physically on your foot. So maybe less about coming all the way into the physical posture. But wherever you are, you're gonna take one more generous breath. You can always linger longer if that's serving you in some way. But as you release, now we're dropping that left hand, or if you're on the other side, no worries. Revolve, reach the right hand to the sky, and it's really about the wobbles today. So feel that foot working, feel your ankle, stability of the knee. Maybe you take one more big reach, expand across the front of your heart. Keep the twist, we'll step back to revolved lunge. Again, you can drop the left palm and reach for the sky, set up a T-twist. We're gonna breathe here for 3. Right, just being present in whatever you're doing. Maybe rolling shoulders, maybe you're cultivating some ease. You could drop the back knee. You know the physical variations, they're all on offer. But as we start to open Warrior 2, Blanca, you can scoot a little up onto the mat. Oh, you're not slipping. You take a moment to find that space of comfort, familiarity. Find the breath again. That steady, comfortable position, steady, comfortable breath. Let the mind follow. We'll peel the back heel right into your horse. So again, it doesn't need to be the maximum physical posture today, but you do want enough engagement of the body, enough engagement of the breath that your mind is starting to follow. Tuck the bum always, maybe tuck the low ribs under, tuck your chin, and set your gaze. Your gaze can be anywhere specific, or maybe you're closing your eyes, but let your mind start to find as much intention throughout the rest of your body as you breathe here. 5. Again, feel how we're not as concentrated in the brain. All that tension, all the stress, it's just diluted, it's diffused. You can find a new appreciation for all that burning in the legs, all the wobbling, right? Kind of a nice feeling to let your mind wander through the peripheral parts of your bodies. You can take one more breath here and then exhale, surrender, forward fold. Let your heels out. Just 3 breaths. Dropping the weight of your jaw, weight of your shoulders, the weight of your day. And we're going to walk your palms towards Parsvottanasana. So make sure you're on the other side. Just 3 breaths. Keep the hinge over that front thigh. You can keep your focus at your toes. Maybe the focus is on squaring hips. But feel where you are focused. Kind of chicken or egg scenario here. Root down through the big toes, come rising through a flat back and reach slowly towards your pyramid, right? We did this on the other side, so it's kind of moving with breath or on breath. As you arrive, pair palms traditionally, but I think today, because it forces us to be more present in the low back, the press of the bum under, the length of the spine right up towards the thoracic part of your spine, right, starts about the base of your shoulder blades. Back bend comes from just rolling the shoulders down and lifting your gaze. You're gonna get one more generous breath here. And then start to tuck your chin. As you step into Utkatasana, really land it. Kind of the last pose of your practice, so a little bit of Tadasana, a little focus, and then exhale, forward fold. And as you come rising all the way up today towards Tadasana, you can open the palms, and Blanca, you can turn gently to face the camera. And as you close your eyes and bring your mind to heart center, feel your feet rooted, right? Feel the body, feel the breath, feel how your mind is following. And notice how you're not thinking about the chaos of your day. That's it. So as you bring your palms to heart center, not taking those breaths for granted, or really anything at all, thumbs to forehead center with respect for all of you, these bodies, this practice, we bow and we say, Namaste. And we'll see you soon. In fact, tomorrow. Take care.